Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another video for Star Wars Unlimited. This is Shadows of the Galaxy, the second set. So I was really excited when I heard this was coming out because, again, not necessarily a huge Star Wars fan, but I love the lore, I love the characters, they're really cool. I haven't watched all the new shows. I know there's stuff in here that's referenced in the newer shows because we have, like, the Mandalorian and stuff, and I haven't watched any of that. We have Moff Gideon. But yeah, so there'll be some characters and people I don't know. But yeah, it's true for all of Star Wars in general. Yeah, so this is a 2-player starter deck. So we're going to go through this. And then I did get 4 booster packs as well. So we're going to go over those also. But this does cover some other stuff other than just that stuff. So we have, here's our deck listings really quick. If you don't want spoilers, sorry. Here, we'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, everything we need to play. 2 playable decks also includes 10 full playable sets of 10 different exclusive cards that only be found in the starter set. So that's one reason to pick up the starter deck, to get extra stuff. Now, I'm going to point out, they have tokens in here. I'm just going to throw a pack of cards up here while I open this box. I did look at Game Generic. Does make tokens for this game, like some plastic or acrylic tokens. And I thought, oh, dude, that'd be kind of cool to pick up. I love doing little upgrades. It's $40 for a bag that's not much bigger than that set of cards. And I was just like, if I was playing this, like, in tournaments or, like, regularly with friends, like, maybe, but I don't know if I want to spend $40 on, like, one set of tokens. You know, so maybe it's something I'll do in the future if, like, I keep buying more of these. But currently, as of right now, it just wasn't in the budget. They do have some, which are really neat. And they cover a lot of the different stuff. So what do we have in the box here? So we looked at the first player starter set. Now, I'm going to kind of just scooch this back. So we're going to get, I believe these are like our play mats. So we have one with the Mandalorian on it, which will have his side. Space unit, space, ground, all that fun stuff. Our little reference keywords on there to really help. Ambush, bounty, overwhelm, restore, sentinel, shielded, and smuggle. So you know these new ones in there. And on the other side just shows the Mandalorian poster, which is really cool. I'm not going to bother to flip open the other ones to be the same thing, but it's just going to be that Moff Gideon artwork. So there's his. But I'm not going to open it all the way up. We get 2 deck boxes, which are kind of cool. One for each character, so you can just really quickly slot your characters in there. Of course, we're going to get our rule book. And a set of tokens. Now, if you're wondering how to play this, I did do a previous video on this, which I kind of go through how everything's done. You can go check that out. Yeah, different tokens, enough for each character, basically. And then, like, the big first player token. So not going to re-go everything through here. I just wanted to double check to see if there's any new concepts listed here. Because sometimes they'll list, like, hey, here's something that popped up that was new. Action, exhausted, units, ground space. Nope. So this, yeah, you can pick up from set 2 if you want. You can start with set 1. Leader, pass, equip, other rules, aspect, unique cards. Captures a new effect. Let's look at that quick. When you use capture is removed from play, defeating all upgrades on it and removing all damage, and placed face down under another unit. The guarding unit. Sorry. As specified by the capturing ability. The capture card is considered out of play, but is not considered defeated. All players may use the capture card at any time. A unit may guard more than one captured card. When the guarding unit leaves play for any reason, the captured unit is rested. The rested card returns to play exhausted under its owner's control. It is not played and does not trigger any one-play abilities. Cool. So that's kind of neat. So I'm sure that's going to be like the bounty hunter's big thing. You know, we have, some other new keywords here. Bounty. When you know that bounty is defeated or captured, the opponents may collect its bounty. Some upgrades give bounty to the attack unit. If you place such an upgrade on an enemy unit, you collect the bounty when that unit is defeated and captured. And then Smuggle will be the other new one in here. If you have a face-down resource with a Smuggle cost, you can pay that cost to play it, and put it on top of your deck, and put the top card of your deck into play as a resource exhausted to replace it. You can exhaust a card to help pay for its own Smuggle cost. Oh, so that's cool. So when you play it down as a cost, as one of your resources, you can now pay for it and get it back, and then it just takes another card will take its place. The only thing is, it's just as the top card of your deck, so you might lose a card that could be more valuable. You don't know. But that's pretty cool. Alright, so that is that. So let's go ahead and hop into these decks and see what we're going to get. We're going to start with the Moff Gideon deck since he was on the left side. Not that should make any difference, but we'll zoom down a bit so we don't have to zoom in, because zooming in distorts everything a bunch. Alright, so Moff Gideon, the formidable commander. I have a picture of what all these icons mean again, because I really don't remember them off the top of my head for some reason. So, of course, he's command, which is green, and then he's villainy. So he's an Imperial Officer. Action. Attack with a unit. It costs 3 or less. If it is attacking unit, it gets +1 attack for this attack. Epic action. If you control 5 or more resources, deploy this leader. And if we deploy him, he becomes a 3/6. Ground Trooper. It says overwhelm when attacking enemy is dealt. An attacking enemy unit deal excessive damage to the opponent's base. Each friendly unit at the cost of 3 or less gains +1 and gains overwhelm while attacking an enemy unit. Awesome. So he gives out some boosts there. And then we'll have the Remnant Science Facility, which is a Vigilance. So there's going to be a Command Vigilance. There's going to be a blue-green deck. Interesting. A part of Nevero. This is a common one. And on the back side of the base, we have his deck list, which we'll save and look at the end. We're going to get some tokens here. We have 3 copies of this, which are the experience, learned. Let's get some new artwork on them. And if we flip them to the other side, we have shielded, which is an armor. Damage to be dealt to an attack unit. Prevent that damage. If you do, defeat a shield token on it. So it's kind of cool to get a token or the shielded stuff all the times. Alright, we're going to drop him down quick. We're going to look at our deck. We have okay, SHD for Shadow. Okay, for the listing down here. So I was trying to see what that was. We have Warzone Lieutenant, a 2/2 trooper. Dr. Perishing, experimenting with life. Imperial, he's 0/5. Action, deal 1 damage to a friendly unit to draw a card. It's a rare, it's kind of cool. The Incinerator Trooper. When attacking a unit, going and paying attention, we have 3 copies of that. When attacking, this unit deals combat damage before the defender. If the defender is defeated, it deals no combat damage. Nice. 3 copies of Outland TIE Vanguard. When played, you may give an experience token to another unit that costs 3 or less. So yeah, he really boosts up guys that cost 3 or less. He's using his army, which is really cool. Privateer Crew. Underworld, he has Smuggle. So, okay, so cool. So if this card is a resource, you may play it for its Smuggle cost. Replace it with the top card of your deck. When you play using Smuggle, give 3 experience to the tokens to this unit. That's kind of neat. So you can play it for 2, or you can early on use it as a resource if you need, or whenever. And then later, when you can afford to, you can pay 6 instead, and bring it out as like a surprise. Like, hey, later on, boom, I have this guy, and it gains 3 experience, which give you +1/+1. So it ends up being instead of popping out like really late as a 2/2, it ends up being a 5/5. So it's pretty cool. It's a really neat effect. We have 3 copies of the Seasoned Shore Trooper. He is Beach Deer. When you control 6 or more resources, this unit gets +2 attack. Cool. 2 copies of a Snow Trooper Lieutenant. When played, you may attack with a unit. If it's an Imperial unit, it gets +2 attack for this attack. Nice. So you just have another guy attack. Kind of works with the... I love when they play off the keywords. It's always my favorite thing in these games. We have these 2 copies of Cell Block Guard. Sentinel units in this arena can't attack your non-Sentinel units or your base. We have 3 Death Troopers. When played, deal 2 damage to a friendly ground unit and 2 damage to an enemy ground unit. That's just blazing the ground all over. Doesn't care. Alright, up next we have 3 copies of the Phase 3 Dark Trooper. Imperial Droid Trooper. Interesting. He has Sentinel, and when combat damage is dealt to this unit, give an experience token to this unit if it survives the damage. Ooh, so take him over as he gets stronger. 3 copies of Super Laser Technician. When defeated, you may put this unit into play as a resource and ready it. Awesome. That's helpful. We got The Client. Dictated by discretion. Shielded. And action, choose a unit. For this phase, it gains bounty. Heal 5 damage from my base. When that unit is defeated or captured, its opponent collects its bounty. Cool. So that'd be a neat thing with this, though. I almost feel like, if bounty works off of anyone getting a bounty, so, anyone, like you have 3 characters out to hang out bounties, and it doesn't matter. Just heal 5 damage. Because that's the thing. It seems like this bounty is tied to that. So if I play like 2 different guys that do bounties, each one puts a bounty on a different one. I think their abilities are only triggered by those guys. Or is it just, it doesn't matter. When a bounty is collected, does this guy get one regardless? If there's 3 bounties out, could I collect this ability 3 times? It's an interesting aspect to that. Which I kind of wonder on. I don't think it really says in here. I'm going to try and double check that keyword for bounty. When a unit bounty is defeated or captured, that opponent's unit may collect its bounty. Some upgrade the bounty to attack unit. Such an upgrade as an enemy, collect the bounty is defeated or captured. Yeah, it doesn't really specify. So you wonder how that works if you have multiple bounties out. And it's only for the phase, but there's no reason why you couldn't play multiple during a phase, possibly. Interesting. Alright, let's jump to the next one. We have the Kiraz's Heavy Fighter, who has overwhelming attack. You may exhaust another friendly unit. If you do, it gets +3 attack for this attack. 2 copies of the System Patrol Craft, just as Sentinel. Cool. Discerning Veteran, he's a bounty hunter. When played, when this unit captures an enemy non-leader ground unit. The capture is placed face down until it leaves play. Nice. Just pull someone off the board at least for a while. 2 copies of the Pirate Battle Tank, which has Sentinel and Smuggle. This one has 7, but you have to play a green and a black. If this card is a resource, you can play it. Cool. Doesn't get any extra bonus, but he doesn't cost that much more either. But again, it's the thing where this would be more like one where you play him early on because he costs so much, and then later you can play it just for a little bit more. 3 copies of Gideon's Light Cruiser Dark Trooper Station. It has Overwhelm, and when played, when you control Moff Gideon as a leader or a unit, play a villainy unit that costs 3 or less from your hand or discard pile for free. Nice. So those were all our units, and then we have some events coming up here. I drop those down. We have Top Target. Attached unit gains bounty. Heal 4 damage from a unit or a base. If this unit is unique, heal 6 damage instead. Cool, so you throw this on a guy and they just have the bounty to let you heal. Neat. Legal Authority, attached to a friendly unit. When played, attached unit captures a non-enemy leader with less power than it. Put its captured card face down and eat them. Legal Authority, the law. 2 copies of Price on Your Head. Attack unit gains bounty. Put the top card of your deck into play as a resource. So this makes sense. Is when this unit is defeated or captured, right? Because it's attached to them, then their bounty is collected. It was that other guy because he selects somebody to gain a bounty. So interesting. We have Outlaw, which is our tactic. Attack with 2 units, 1 at a time. Timely intervention. Play a unit from your hand, give it ambush for the space. When you play it, you may ready an attack an enemy and it has smuggle. Ooh, we get a generic card. We have 2 copies of Compensate, which is a law, defeat and upgrade. Moment of Glory, attack to give a unit 4/4 for this phase. Nice. 3 copies of Calculated Lethality. Defeat non-leader unit that costs 3 or less for each upgrade that was on that unit, giving experience to a friendly token to a friendly unit. And then the last card is Remnant Reserves. Search the top 5 cards for your deck for up to 3 units, reveal them, and draw them. Put the other cards back in your bottom in any order. Cool. So that's really neat. We got some really cool. Yeah, so he likes to play around with a lot of stuff had to deal with the controlling the battlefield and playing keeper enemies. And then getting some of them over. So here's his deck listing. Now it's neat. This is also all from this second set. Now, eventually, like usually most games are kind of do that for the second one, but then like the third one, then they start combining stuff from every set. So we'll see if that's what happens later on, or if they just keep kind of having everything come from each set, which would definitely be kind of cool. Alright, so that is our Moff Gideon deck. So yeah, so you're looking for like our previous one was Luke and Vader, which had force powers and did some stuff there, but they're kind of more combatants. This is more of a army deck versus what Mandalorian does. I'm gonna guess he's gonna have probably a lot more bounties and smuggling stuff, but we'll find out. Alright, so we'll start with him. We have Sworn to the Creed. So this is a heroism and cunning. Because I think our other ones were, this is green and white. I think our previous ones were red and blue. So we have all 4 colors in the decks now. So when you play an upgrade, you may exhaust this leader. If you do exhaust an enemy with 4 or less remaining HP. And he flips over. He has a 4/7. When you play an upgrade, you may exhaust an enemy with 6 or less remaining HP. Interesting. So he's gonna upgrade stuff. A remote villain in Sorting. And on the back side of his deck list, which we'll look at that at the end. We're going to get our 3 experience and shield tokens. And then we'll start with our units. We have 2 copies of Clang Reng Rescuer. A Mandalorian and Trooper. When played, giving experience token to a unit. Cool. I don't think we had too many Mandalorians in the first set. We had a couple of characters, so we'll get some more to tie in here. 2 copies of Follower of the Way. This unit is upgraded, it gets +1/+1. 3 copies of Grief Karga, Affable Commissioner, who's on the Fringe. When played, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an upgrade, reveal it, and draw it. Ooh, so we're gonna hopefully have a bunch of upgrades in here. A lot, I mean. 3 copies of Groog. Irresistible, who has the Force and has 5 defense. Action, exhausting enemy unit. We have Cull, I Have Spoken. Restore 1. When this unit attacks, deal 1 damage from your base. On attack, discard a card from your deck which shares an aspect with your base. Return it to your hand. That's neat. So that could definitely be a great way to, like, attack, heal your base, and then you also possibly get a card back to your hand. 3 copies of the HWK 290 freighter. I thought this was the Space Bohos ship at first. A Mandalorian warrior. When played, you may give an experience token to another Mandalorian warrior. Nice. 2 copies of Protector of the Throne. This unit is upgraded against Sentinel. 3 copies of Village Protectors. Have a lot of fringe stuff on here too. Sentinel and Shielded. 2 copies of Chain Code Collector, Underworld, and Bounty Hunter as Ambush. And on attack, the defender has a bounty that gets -4 attack for this attack. So you're gonna just snipe him from behind. 3 copies of Razor Crest, the reliable gunship. Restore 2, and when played, you may return an upgrade from your discard pile to your hand. The Survivor's Gauntlet. When played or on attack, you may attach an upgrade on a unit to another eligible unit controlled by the same player. The Armorer, Survivalist Strength. When played, give a shield token to up to 3 Mandalorian units. Cargo Juggernaut, shielded, and when played, if you control another Vigilance unit, heal 4 damage from your base. This is a lot of cunning and interesting. I didn't notice. I was just thinking because his card was heroism, but he's actually playing vigilance and cunning, and not as much heroism stuff. Like he's a hero because I think they have to have one of the 2 colors on their character. But yeah, he's playing a lot of the other colors in there, which is very interesting. So that means all your blue cards are gonna cost more. Interesting. Well, I guess it depends, not because you have your base, it's blue, right? Because it's built up with your base and your regular thing. Because his base is blue as well, but that's interesting. Fennec Shanged Loyal Sharpshooter, ambush and attack deal 1 damage to the defender for each different cost among the cards in your discard pile. Alright, okay, so that's the rest of our units. Now we have a bunch of upgrades. So now one thing to note here is there's a lot of stuff just doing with Mandalorians and fringe characters and then upgrades. So upgrades are whether or not you have them or not, so they can kind of be everything. But having stuff that directly reflects Mandalorians means your deck is only going to be better or worse depending on how many Mandalorians you have. If you don't have enough of them, they're not going to trigger very quick. On the same thing, you have all of them, then yeah, you're going to have just all that ability, but then it limits what you're also doing because you're only got Mandalorians. Some of the other characters or classes have different stuff as well. Same thing, we have a lot of fringe, and I don't think there's very many cards that reference fringe characters, because you have troopers, you have some for Jedi, some for bounty hunters and stuff, but not many for fringe, so they're not going to have a lot of triggering abilities. Alright, here's our first upgrade. We have Public Enemy. Attaching it against bounty. Give a shield unit to a token. 2 copies of Wanted. Attacking against bounty. Ready 2 friendly resources. So he is defeated or captured. Its opponent collects its bounty. Yeah, it's kind of, you throw it on his bounty. You throw them on another player, then when you defeat them, you gain a bonus. So it's kind of like I'm going to throw this out in the anticipation that that's who I'm going to be going after. 2 copies of Foundling. Attaching it against the Mandalorian trait. Oh, that's cool. We're just talking about not having enough of that. 2 copies of Resilient. Gives you 3 defense. Ooh, a gray card. 2 copies of Rich Reward. Attaching it against bounty. Give experience token up to each 2 units. 2 copies of Snapshot Reflexes. When played, you may attack with a taxed unit. Neat. So you get an extra 1 attack on each as well. A Vambrace Grapple Shot. Attached to a non-vehicle unit. Attached unit gains on attack exhaust the defender and get 2 attacking defense. I like having more equip items or upgrades. It's pretty cool. There wasn't a lot in the first, I think, just the, in the starter set, I think it was just the lightsabers. Mandalorian Armor. When played, if attached unit is a Mandalorian, give a shield token to it. But that's what I need, is even if it's not a Mandalorian, you can still give it a 1-3 bonus. We have 3 copies of the Mandalorian's rifle. When played, if a cast unit is the Mandalorian, he captures the exhausted enemy non-leader unit. Cool. So that's to be the Mandalorian. That's when they're a bit confusing because we have a card that's like, if it's a Mandalorian versus the Mandalorian, but they do the smart thing of making that bold versus that's just the name of a character. So we have some events here as well. We have surprise strike unit. Attack with a unit gets +3 attack for the attack. This is the way. Search the top 8 cards of your deck for up to 2 Mandalorian and or upgrade cards, reveal them, and draw them. Nice. Spare the target. Return enemy non-leader to its owner's hand. Collect that unit's bounty. And then the last one is Fell the Dragon. Defeat a non-leader unit with 5 or more power. Cool. There's the deck list. You know, any ones here that have the S on them are for the starter set only. So the Mandalorian, Grief Kara, Garug, Razor Crest, Snapshot Reflexes, and the Mandalorian's rifle. So it doesn't mean there's not going to be a Mandalorian in the other set, in the main set. It just means this one's specific to that. Now, let's look at him again. So it says when you upgrade him, play an upgrade, you may exhaust an enemy with 6 or less remaining HP, or his regular leader side was with 4 or less. So it's just a little bit less. Let's look at Moff's quick again for his starter. Him, Tag, Incinerator Troopers, Shore Troopers, Snow Troopers, Cell Block, Death Troopers, Dark Troopers, Super Laser, System Patrol, Light Cruiser, and Confiscate and Calculate Lethality. So there's a decent number of cards in here that are just from the starter set, which I think is a great way to do it, right? If you're gonna bother to have a starter set, you know, have majority of the cards and half the deck be starter deck only, and then have some of the extra cards in there to be like, hey, this boosts them up. Versus just have, like, you know, saying some other games, I do want to say the Dragon Ball Super game. You get a starter deck that has multiple copies, but it's 5 different cards, and all the rest are from sets. Which could be from one set or from multiple sets. It just depends on how they do it. But it's kind of like, oh, I'm buying it for 5 cards. Here you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different ones there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 20 different cards total in this deck. They're exclusive to this deck. So it does make it worth buying it if you want those cards to be added into everything else. Cool. That is what we have for those 2. And then we're going to look at some of the packs quick. We have 18 card booster packs. So we have 4 of these. We have Lando Calrissian here. Of course, Donald Glover's version. We have a Boba Fett pack. And then I can't remember her name, but she's part of the Mandalorian. This is, and I can't remember the actress's name either. She's Starbucks on Battlestar Galactica. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and open up these and see what we have in there. I love the barcode there. It's pretty cool. I don't know if it says anything extra on there. Nope. Alright. Alright, so let's see what we get in here. Alright, pack number 1. We are going to start right off the bat with a Han Solo. So this is a young Han Solo. Who's going to have aggression and heroism. 3/6 Underworld action. Play a unit from your hand. If it costs 1, it costs 1 less. Deal 2 damage to it. Worth the risk. Interesting. you get cheaper cards, but at the risk that they're already damaged. So his action play a unit card with a cost and deal 2 damage to it. So the same thing. We can flip them over. Action play unit card. Okay, one's the action exhaust versus when he flips to a unit, he doesn't have to exhaust to do it. That's cool. This is kind of neat to go right with that. We're saying, yeah, we'll leave that there. We got some spice mines from the Kessel, which go really nice with Han Solo if you want to make a full red deck. And on the back side, we got a shield token. Alright, then we have Gravian Antagonizer. Underworld Trooper who has Saboteur. This unit attacks, ignore Sentinel, and defeat the Defender's shield and bounty. Draw a card. When this unit is defeated or captured, your opponent collects its bounty. Interesting. So the other sets we looked at, they were giving bounties to someone. Either they were an upgradable card that you put on someone and gave them a bounty, or is that one guy that exhausted and chose a target. And this one instead, he instead has a bounty on him, so it makes him a little bit more powerful because he has that risk. That's a neat way of doing that mechanic as well. We have Foundling, which we've already seen, but hey, another one of those aren't going to be bad. Adelphi Patrol Wing. New Republic vehicle. When played, you may attack with a unit. If you have initiative, it gets +2 for this attack. Covetous Rivals. Bounty Hunters. They have Grit. This unit gets +1 for each damage on it. When played or on attack, you may deal 2 damage to a unit with a bounty. Interesting. So this is kind of neat because you're also playing this with the Han Solo there, right? Because they're both red. He costs 6. You could make him 5 by giving him 2 damage, but that means now instead of being a 5/5, he would be a 7/3. Yeah, that's actually kind of a neat little combination there. Outflank tactics, attack with 2 units, 1 at a time. We saw that one before. We have Gentle Giant, which is a Wookiee. Who has Grit, and which is 8, so yeah, you can take a lot of damage to boost up his attack. On attack, you may heal damage from another unit equal to the damage on this unit. That's cool. So again, even like, yeah, just looking at combining this one, if you're playing Han, you're playing with a blue base, and you could play him, right? Or however you're playing him, right? All of a sudden now he comes in with 2 extra damage on him, so now he's 5 cost and he has 6 health, but he has 4 attack now. And when he attacks, he can keep healing, right? He can heal for 2 already. So it's kind of neat. So he starts off with that ability. That's neat. We have a Wookiee Warrior. You guys Grit as well, and when played, when you control another Wookiee unit, draw a card. They can work with each other. Relentless Pursuit. Ooh, a Cad Bane there. Choose a friendly unit. It captures an enemy non-leader unit that costs the same or less than it. If the friendly unit is a bounty hunter, give a shield token to it. Put the captured card face down under play. Neat. Our last common is a Mandalorian Warrior. When played, give an experience token to another Mandalorian. For an uncommon, we have Crosshair, Following Orders. Imperial Clone Trooper. Action, pay 2. This unit gets +1 attack for this phase. Exhaust. This unit deals damage equal to its power to an enemy ground unit. Ooh, that's neat. So you can basically boost him up and then have him snipe. That's fun. And again, if you look at the Han Solo thing, just looking at it because he's right there, right? If you mix him with this deck for whatever reason, also he starts with an extra 2. She has 4 attack right off the bat, and then you can, even wouldn't have to pay the extra thing to do 4 damage, right? That's pretty crazy. This is the way. So we've seen this, just search for Mandalorian cards for an uncommon. Another Cull we've seen before as well. Our rare card for this set is First Light, Headquarters to the Crimson Dawn, Underworld Vehicle. who has grit, and each other friendly non-leader unit gains grit. And smuggle. Smuggle for the same exact cost, but it says deal 4 damage to a friendly unit. Interesting, because we've seen ones where they were like a little bit cheap, a little bit more expensive, or like one thing cheaper, I think, or we saw one where they were quite a bit more expensive, but they were, you know, like a 2 to 6 cost, but you're getting a bonus for them. This is basically just you can hide them in here and then have this ability pop out later, but you have to sacrifice someone for it. That's kind of cool. Alright, then we have a foil. We have Criminal Muscle, which is a Regarian. When played, you may return a non-unique upgrade to its owner's hand. Well, that'd be kind of cool. You have a guy that's about to get taken out, play him. They can get that upgrade back so you're not wasting it and you can play it again. Awesome. Alright, what's in pack number 2? We're going to go with another red aggression character. We have Kylo Ren. The Force and First Order, Rash and Deadly. Action, discard a card from your hand. Give a unit +2 for this phase. And then when Kylo flips over, he becomes a 5/4. This unit gets -1 for each card in your hand. Interesting. So they have different, lots of them you have the same abilities, but his is different. It gets -1 for each card in your hand. So here, you're going to want to basically spend all your cards to boost up a bunch of people and then deploy him so he doesn't lose all of his attack. Interesting. We have a full art card. So these pop in every once in a while. So now it's up 300 instead of, you know, of whatever the number is at the bottom, up 262. So you have Navarro City. Gives us a green location. And on the back is cool too because you have full art shield, which is really cool. It's actually token number 4 now. That's neat. Alright, our first card is Moment of Glory. Give a unit 4/4. Another Foundling we've seen. Night Owl Skirmisher. Who has Smuggle. So yeah, again, lower cost, higher cost. Doesn't give you anything extra, but just lets you play it a little bit later if you need to. The Moisture Farmer. Restore 2. Take Captive. A friendly unit captures an enemy non-leader unit in the same arena. Put the captured card face down. Nice, this is a straight up way to capture somebody. Hunting Nexu. Which is a creature. When you control another red unit, this creature gains raid 2. We got another full art card. Interesting. Covert Strength. Heal 2 damage from a unit and give an experience token to it, and you can smuggle it for later. That's kind of cool. It's like maybe turn 1, you don't need this card, right? You know, I like this as a smuggle mechanic. Because yeah, you might not need that right off the bat. So that's kind of neat. So you can go there. You know, I almost wish though that they would have put like the smuggle ability, like I did because you have all your text down here, so it might not work. Or even maybe put like the smuggle cost on like the bottom corner, like upside down. So like that cost, then that, like just on the opposite. Because then what you could do is like, you know, just as an example, like, oh, I have my resource down. You could put a smuggle card like that, so that way you knew you had a smuggle card in play. Otherwise, you're supposed to put them, like, again, it would be neat if it was down here as well, but I could see them doing something like that, just down on this opposite side. Then that way you always know if you have a smuggle card available. I can see where it might be an issue, though, if, like, you have, like, on a unit where they have more stuff on there. Or even it's like a smaller number or something. It would have been kind of an interesting way to do that, but they didn't design the cards, the first set like that, so it's hard to go back. We have another Wookiee Warrior. A Surprise Strike we've seen in the base set. And our first uncommon is Enticing Reward. Attached unit gains bounty. Search the top 10 cards of your deck for 2 non-unit cards. Reveal them and draw them. Then if this unit isn't unique, discard a card from your hand. Interesting. So basically, if you attack it to a unique guy and then defeat them, you don't have to discard. Otherwise, you can get 2 extra cards. Cool. Helps you find stuff. We have free town backup. On attack, give another friendly unit 2/2, and then you can smuggle him up later. Concord Dawn Interceptors, Mandalorian Vehicles, Sentinel, and this unit gets +2 while defending. Our rare card is going to be the Arquentis Assault Cruiser. It has ambush, and when this unit attacks and defeats a non-leader unit, put the defeated unit into play as a resource under your control. Interesting. You steal somebody else's stuff. That's crazy. Our foil is an uncommon. We have 4 LOM or 4 Lover Money, the Bounty Hunter for hire. Underworld Droid Bounty Hunter has ambush, and when a friendly unit named Zuctus gets +1/+1 and gains ambush. Oh, I love it. They have combination of 4 LOM and Zuctus. Yeah, I would probably love to play a Bounty Hunter deck. Just they seem like, I don't know, I just always love the Bounty Hunters. Alright, pack number 3. We're getting a different color finally. We have blue. We have Gar Saxon. Viceroy of Mandalore. So he's a Mandalorian. So now we have a different Mandalorian. This is kind of cool because we have the Mandalorian from the base, and then we have this. We can play a different version. This guy's villainy instead of heroism, and he's blue. Each friendly unit gains a +1. So it boosts up everybody. And then what's his deployed version do? Oh, he has the Dark Saber. Didn't notice that in the other picture. Each friendly unit upgrade gets +1 and gains 1 defeat. You may return upgrade that was attached to this unit to its owner's hand. It's cool. So although he's another Mandalorian, he's playing with a lot of the upgrade stuff as well. So we have another Spice Mines, but this one has an experience token on the back, which is kind of fun. You didn't have the same one. Alright, Pirate Battle Tank has Sentinel and Smuggle. You've seen that one. Super Commando Squad. Imperial Mandalorian Shielded, and while it's using a Shielded, it gains Sentinel. Nice. Clan Challengers. Raid 3 and Overwhelm. Some more Mandalorians. A Ruthless Assassin, an Underworld Bounty Hunter. Overwhelm and when played, deal 2 damage to a friendly unit. It's a little bit cheaper, but you have to hurt someone for it. But that's alright. Van Bray's Grapple Shot for some more upgrades. The Discerning Veteran. Another just generic Mandalorian. Wanted. We're getting a lot of duplicates here, but that's okay. Happens. Cartel Turncoat. Bounty. Draw a card. Interesting. Kind of makes it a target as well. That's just not a bad part about this, right? You get this bounty that's on a thing. So it's a cheap card for a little bit better effect, but your opponent might want to target them versus somebody else just because they gain a reward. So a bounty might, when you place it, it's going to be like, that's the guy I'm probably going to target because I get a reward for defeating them. But if you play a card with bounty, it might be a good distraction to pull your opponent away from something else. They're like, oh, well, rather than attacking my, stormtrooper over here that has an effect that does this, or this other guy over here that heals, I'm going to attack that guy, so I get a bonus. Ooh, Dengar, the Demolisher, another bounty hunter. When you play an upgrade on a unit, you may deal 1 damage to that unit. Interesting. You have a couple of these guys with that grit ability, so every time they have damage, they do more stuff. You can force damage on them, basically making guys burn out quicker, but giving them a lot more attack right off the bat. That's really neat. Our next uncommon is Lady Proxima, White Worm Monarch, or Matriarch. When you play another Underworld card, you may deal 1 damage to a base. Ooh, that's fun. We haven't seen a ton of, Underworld support, so that's really cool. L337, Droid Revolutionary, or Elite. That's awesome. When played, you may rescue a captured card. If you don't, give a shield token to this unit, and he has Smuggle for 4. And it's also a female. That's cool. You may play her for her smuggle cost and replace her with the top card of your deck. Because the droids, they could have just easily said it. And you could just been it as in referring to it as the card and not a gender. But that's kind of neat. Yeah, it's neat. So rescue a captured card, which you need to get back, or you get a shield token. And you can always play it for later. Neat. Now I just need a way to like take cards that are out more often and put them under. So you can basically like play a card, smuggle it back out, then have a way to put it back in and then smuggle it back out if you like. Stolen Land Speeder. Underworld Vehicle Speeder. When played, you play this card. You play this unit from your hand and the opponent takes control of it. Bounty. If you own this unit, play it from your discard pile for free and give it an experience token. Interesting. So if you play this normally for 1, your opponent gets it, right? And then you defeat it. It goes in there. It says if you own this unit, play it from your discard pile for free and give it an experience token. So basically, you play this to your opponent, and then you defeat it to steal it from them. That's kind of cool. Our foil is a full art card, which is kind of cool. Alright, we got 1 pack left. Now, I would have bought more of these, but this is all they had at the store at the time. So that's why we only have 4 packs. Otherwise, I would have probably bought, like, 10 or 12 or whatever. Try to do, like, a full video, see how many I could get. But you do what you can do. We're going to start off with a full art leader. We have a green one. Honda Honaka. That's good business. An Underworld character. Neat. Who's a command. When you play a card using Smuggle, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, giving experience to a token. Ooh, so an Underworld card and a Smuggle support. And it's a full art. That's pretty cool. Was Raid 1. And when you play a Smuggle, you may get an experience token to a character. That's neat. Hey, and to go with that, we're going to get Jabba's Palace of Tatooine. The backside is a shield token. Alright, Detention Block Rescue Gambit. Hey, it's Luke Han. Chewbacca, that's awesome. Deal 3 damage to a unit. If that unit is guarding any captured cards, deal 6 damage instead. Warzone Lieutenant, pretty basic. Vigilant Pursuit Craft, Sentinel and Smuggle. Nice, that'll work well with our other guy. Ooh, the Transiting Hunter. So this is what Bosk is. He's a Transiting. Overwhelm, and when played, if an enemy user has bounty, give an experience token to this unit. Cargo Juggernaut. Shielded, and when played, if you control another blue unit, heal 4 damage from your base. Clone Deserter. A Fringe clone. Interesting. Restore 1 and bounty, draw a card. Protector of the Throne. Relentless Pursuit. Cloud Racer. Underworld Ambush. May ready an enemy unit. Nice. Our uncommons is we have Remnant Reserve, we've seen. Let's find some more units. Fell the Dragon, we've seen. And IG-11. I cannot be captured. So IG-88 is pretty famous, but IG-11 is an earlier one. If this unit would be captured, defeat him and deal 3 damage to each enemy ground unit instead. On attack, may deal 3 damage to an enemy ground unit. That's interesting, right? Seeing force capturing him. He does some stuff. That's pretty cool. Our rare card then is Kira playing her part. She's an Underworld guy. An Underworld guy to go rare to go with our Underworld boss. When played, look at the opponent's hand, then name a card. While this unit is played, each opponent with the card name costs 3 more for your opponents to play. Interesting. So, yeah, if you just look at your opponent's hand, I've said in so many videos I've done, I don't care about just looking at my opponent's hand. I don't want to try and memorize what cards they have when they play this, play that. But, like, this is neat because it's like, it's going to penalize them for playing anything with that card. Bare minimum, if it's 1 copy, but if you know they have multiple copies, it's going to penalize them for each one. But I also like the fact this is your opponents. It's going to penalize everybody for playing that card. So if there's a staple card in the game that everyone loves to play, this could really kind of affect that. That's pretty fun. Alright, then our last card is a Foil Moisture Farmer. Awesome. So that's pretty cool. We got some really neat stuff in there. I'll have to try and pick up some more packs with other characters we got. But that's what we have for Shadows of the Galaxy for Star Wars Unlimited. Yeah, some cool Mandalorian stuff. Moff Gideon in the starter set will let you play if you like playing troopers and units. It's going to give you some good stuff with that. The Mandalorian side gives you a lot more upgrades if you want to play that. And then we saw in the decks we had a lot more Underworld and Bounty Hunter stuff. Some of our leaders. The one guy is the Underworld did smuggling. We had Han, which was kind of fun with his damaging guys to get him out quicker. The Gar Saxon, who was another Mandalorian, just worked a little bit differently than the Mandalorian. Kylo Ren was kind of the oddball in there because his was like, get rid of your hand. So when you deploy him, he's stronger. Which is kind of cool. You get rid of cards to boost stuff up. He's sacrificing people around him to make himself stronger, which does fit into the theme of him. Alright, so that's what we have. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hit me up in the comments. Anything else you guys would like to see, let me know. See you guys later. Bye.